Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. What is up, Techno fam? There's a lot of upgrades happening here at my house, and we're going to be swapping out the SVS Prime Elevation speakers to something a little bit more versatile, a little bit smaller. It is the Focal Dome Flax, and we're going to check it out right after the jump. And I'm back. Now, before we begin, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys truly do impact the channel in such a great way. You're helping me make these videos. You're helping me acquire, little tidbits here and there that I need to make these videos for you guys. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And since we're talking about Dolby Atmos, make sure if you want to get all the best Dolby Atmos and DTSX and IMAX Enhanced and Oro 3D demos, make sure you become a patron at the $5 level. Link is in the description. Become a patron today. Now, before we get into a big old story time about why I chose these, let's go ahead and do the unboxing and install them and then get into the story time later. Don't forget to check out the description box for timestamps or chapters on this video. All right, let's get these Focal Dome Flax out of the boxes. Now, these are pretty compact speakers. They come with a speaker and a grill. You also get a mounting plate, screw and drywall anchors, and a rubber bottom if you are not wall mounting the domes. In the rubber plate, you'll notice a small Allen key, which you'll need for installation. On the bottom of the speaker, you can see the speaker connections, which you'll need the Allen key to loosen and tighten with the cable. Also, there's a lock on the side, which you will want to tighten up when the speaker is wall mounted. The Focal Dome Flax has a 4-inch flax driver for mid-bass and a 1-inch aluminum magnesium inverted dome tweeter. The Dome Flax is an 8-ohm speaker with a power handling of 25 to 100 watts, and it has a frequency response of 80 Hz to 28 kHz and is 88 dB sensitive. Comparing it to the SVS Prime Elevations, stat-wise, they are pretty much the same. There are a few differences. The SVS driver is half an inch larger. The SVS is also a ported enclosure as opposed to the Focal sealed enclosure. And also, you are able to angle the Focal, which is perfect for me as my living room isn't the best and I have to mount the speakers on beams, and each speaker is at a different part of the beam and they need their own specific angle. All right, so now let's talk about why I chose the Focal Dome Flax, and later on in the video, I'll let you guys know what I thought after I swapped out the speakers. So basically, in the studio here, I have like all of the same speakers, and it was that video I did for OSD where I had a 7.3.4 set up here in the studio, and they were all the exact same speaker, and I was like, man, this is awesome. Everything sounds like perfectly cohesive. So now with my other speakers in here that are all exactly the same, I get that same feeling, and I wanted that upstairs, and I didn't really notice the difference between having all clips ear level and having all SVS height channels. And then I had like all SVS height channels and all SVS ear level speakers. And then I had the Martin Logan ear level speakers and the SVS height channels. And I didn't really notice like a huge shift or change. It wasn't until I had this system here where everything's like lined up perfectly and correctly to where I was just like, oh wow, I got to get a cohesive system upstairs. And since I now work with Dream Media, I have access to a lot more speakers, and the Martin Logans were great and all, but like I really needed a bigger space and I needed them off the wall a little bit. So I decided to switch up to Focal. So moving over to Focal, it's easy to find like a 5-speaker setup. I really like the Aria line. I have the Aria 926 towers. So I wanted something to match that up top. And my only thing was like, okay, well, they make bookshelf speakers, but A, they're big, heavy, and they cost a lot. And I was like trying to figure out exactly what I could put up there. And then finally, after searching on the internet, I remembered that Focal made a little dome that used the same drivers as the Aria series, that being the Flax driver and the aluminum magnesium inverted dome tweeter. So I went and searched Focal Dome, and I found out you can buy these things separately. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This actually was a 5.1, so it came with like a subwoofer and whatever, but you can buy these separately, and they come in black and white. So if you've always wanted to do height channels, but you have a weird ceiling like mine, it's vaulted, or like mine's like totally like angled, it's a lot of white up there for you guys, then you can buy 4 or 5 of these in white or black you know, I got them in black because white would look a little too off in my space. But if you have white ceiling and white walls, like the white ones probably look pretty legit. So that's basically what I wanted to do, is I wanted to have a nice cohesive setup where all the tweeters and mid-ranges, all the drivers are similar, so that it would be like this setup in here where I have a cohesive Atmos setup. Now, another reason why I picked the Focal Dome Flax was because it has the integrated wall mount, which is huge, and I can change the angle to exactly what I need. So with the SVS prime elevation speakers, they are like angled. There is an angled baffle, yes, 100% true, but they weren't angled enough to where I was placing, you know, the speakers. Like, they were kind of angled, and the front ones kind of shot above my seating area, like to the back wall, maybe like 6 inches. Like, it was like hitting back here instead of like on top here. So I had to, you know, just kind of live with that, and it was a good experience. And, you know, when I put up these Flax domes and kind of dialed in the angle for each 5 speakers, like I changed the angle for all 5 of them. They're all different. So that was the other thing with the prime elevation. It's just one angle and that's it. So you just, if you're good, you're good, right? But my ceiling isn't like flat. Basically, I found the perfect solution, the Dome Flax 1.0 from Focal. Like, you can adjust these any which way you want. So yeah, I think these are one of the best solutions for Atmos. If you can't do in-ceiling speakers, you want to do high channels, and you've got a weird room configuration, weird ceiling, these are going to be where it's at. Now, these things are not cheap. They retail for around $700 a pop. So definitely, you know, something you might have to save up for, but they do sell them individually. So you can buy 2 at a time. You know, you got a 512 receiver, boom, you pick up 2, you upgrade, you know, a couple of years later to a 9 channel, you pick up the other 2, you're done. Now, of course, you want to contact Dream Media Home Theater for anything Focal and check out pricing, availability, and all that kind of cool stuff. Their link is going to be down in the description. Okay, so how do they sound? I noticed a huge difference now that I can actually aim the speakers individually to where they need to be in my main listening position. I went through a bunch of demos from the Dolby Atmos Demo Disc 2016 and 2018. I like the Rainstorm on and off, the Santeria on and off, Audiosphere, and you know, all you patrons out there, you know, patrons of mine, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because those you guys have access to all of those, I think like 3 or 4 months ago. I don't know. Anyway, if you want access to those, go ahead and become a patron at the $5 level. Don't forget. And one of the things that I always do is put in movies that I've seen like time and time again. We're talking John Wick, you know, the cemetery scene, John Wick 1. Of course, Jumanji, you know, when they're falling out of the sky. That's always a great situation. And I went through a few others, but the bottom line is, I'm getting a better experience now because the angle of the speakers can be changed individually, because they're all in weird spots. Like, there's one like really high, so it needs a steep angle coming in. There's one that's you know, on the right hand side, height 1 right, it needs a little bit of an angle, but height 1 left is higher, right? It's about 3, because the ceiling is like this. So there's one here and there's one up here. So this angle needs to be, you know, a little bit steeper for it to get to the right spot. And then the one on the rear height right, that one is the lowest out of the 5. So, you know, that one was, you know, it's working a lot better now because it's got a better angle. And then, of course, the Voice of God channel is like right on top, and I could just whoop, turn it almost like 90 degrees. It's fantastic. So, you know, I think it's the perfect setup for me, and it could be the perfect setup for you. Again, they're not cheap, but hey, if you want a better Atmos experience and you can't do in ceilings, these are probably going to be your best bet. And they come in black and white, so that's always good. Now, as far as this upgrade is concerned, I am really happy, and I'm actually going to be upgrading my AV receivers soon. So look out for a video about the Marantz SR7015 that I had in-house, and there's going to be a new Big Daddy going to be in the house. It's going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. I don't know. I have no idea where I was going with that one. Anyway, Anyway, it's upgrade season here at Techno Dad's house, and I am loving every second of it because it's like I'm a kid again. Like I can piece together little things here and there. I'm gonna get a bigger TV. More speakers are on the way. So I am super duper excited. Now, if you guys have any questions about this or anything else, make sure you leave them down in the comments below. Hit me up on social or email, whichever you like to use. And that's pretty much it for this video. So if you liked it, go ahead, smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel using the button in the middle of your screen. Once again, my name is Chana D. I'm your Techno Dad, and I'll see you next time.